Hi guys, Coach Allie here. Welcome to the Powerhouse Podcast, episode 165, the power partnership you never thought of. Now, I want you to think right now of that one sponsor or partner that would absolutely revolutionize your life if you actually got them. Now, we're going to teach you how to do that on this podcast, so let's get into it.
Welcome to the Powerhouse Podcast, hosted by sisters, former Miss Nebraskas and a Miss Nebraska USA, and expert coaches Allie Swanson Mancuso and Megan Swanson Rhodes. Every Tuesday, we bring you a life-changing, challenging, and activating episode to help high-achieving women win their pageants, massively transform their mindsets, and dominate all aspects of life, including elements both inside and what most consider traditionally as areas outside of pageantry. Allie and Megan coach high-achieving women in all 50 states and beyond, and live to see women conquer their dreams. If you're not already part of our Powerhouse Club, join the fastest-growing group of winning pageant queens on the planet, linked in the show notes every single week. Now, let's get on to this week's episode.
Hi guys, Coach Allie here. Welcome to the Powerhouse Podcast. Today we're going to talk about the power partnership you never thought of. And I know we've been diving a lot into marketing, branding, making money as a title holder in past weeks here. So I really want to be specific and give you some examples of this actually working in clients' lives, in my life, etc. So I want to start by talking about branding because I feel like this is a concept that we always come back to. It's really, really, really important, guys, to know your brand. Not only to do some self-discovery and know who you are as a person, know your identity, know what brings you joy and gives your life meaning, that sense of purpose, but how that relates in a marketing standpoint to social media, to maybe your website, to your nonprofit, or whatever cause you're advocating towards. And if you don't understand this, how is somebody else supposed to also understand this? And when you are coming to a business and saying, hey, my name is Allie, here's what I can do for you, 1, 2, 3, XYZ, whatever your products or services are. Again, if you don't have that pitch down, that elevator pitch, so to speak, how is somebody on the receiving end supposed to interpret that if you don't know what that is? So do some deep dive work here and do some personal searching, some brand searching to really know the answers to those questions. And here's a good one. When somebody goes to your social media, so whatever your top one is, if that's your Facebook page, if it's your TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, some of the new ones that are the Gen Zs and people younger than that are doing nowadays. But whatever your go-to social media is that you are actually trying to drive traffic towards, or you have a mass following, what do people see when they go to that page or that account? What is the vibe that I get when going to your page? Is there an action step there for me to take as a consumer, as a potential partner, as an event that wants to book you? Do you have those action steps readily available for me to know more about you? Am I learning about you through your brand? Do I understand your brand, or is it a little bit confusing? Is it a little repulsive? Because I know it's a big word, but if you don't have things about pageantry or about you being a businesswoman or whatever you care about, and it's just you partying on the weekends or showing a side of you that you think the world wants to see, but it's not actually the real you, that is negatively affecting you. So first step is identifying your brand and then checking out who you are on these platforms. And if that brand that you want to portray actually matches the message that you are communicating through your posts, through your videos, and all of that, because it really, really, really does matter, guys. If you have a kick butt media kit, a press kit, whatever you want to call it, and your social media is on point, as a business, I want to work with this girl because I can see and she's proving to me already that she's an asset before I walk through the door. So that's always going to be step one. Now, in the intro of this, I asked, what is the one sponsor that would change your life? I want you to pause here for a second and actually ask yourself that question. I knew what it was for me 5-6 years ago. And I know what it is for me now that I'm approaching Mrs. United States. And they're two very different things. I have different platforms and I'm in different seasons of my life, which is totally fine. But it could be one specific sponsor or partner. It could be many. What role is that sponsor or organization fulfilling in your web of needs along your journey? And those are really important questions to ask, because where you find a power partnership, what makes something a power partnership is that both sides, the receiving end of both ends, so me and the person that I'm helping or vice versa, views it as a power partnership. It's not just you're a leech and you are getting a service out of an organization or a business, and you're like, okay, I'm going to post once on social media, cool, call it good. Like, this is a healthy partnership. No, like, you're really not doing anything for them. Like, yeah, maybe you might have a couple thousand followers, but are you really increasing business? Are you a net positive in the monetary investment, the time investment, in the headache, the effort, the whatever that they are pouring into you and what you can give to them? So that's what I mean by a power partnership. It goes both ways. It's not just that you're a leech. Like, I think of an aesthetic sponsor. Okay. So if you are a consumer of an aesthetic sponsor, so you're a recipient of it, maybe, yeah, they give you hydrofacials and they do, some different things that make you feel beautiful. But if you are just the consumer, like, then maybe that partnership is not going to be very healthy long-term because you're not generating them some new business. Now, maybe it'll be sustainable and healthy for a little bit, but as you pass it off to the next title holder, normally those things only last a couple of years. Now, if you are savvy with marketing and you can do more videos and content and behind the scenes and do some before and afters and show that these products are working for your life and benefiting your life, then yeah, the people viewing those videos are actually going to want to go into the store and buy some things or use those services. Also, another thing is you could have them have access to the videos and photos, add them as a collaborator, like on Instagram, and have them post them actually to your page. So you basically use your name, image, and likeness in those videos that you approve because you send them to them. That's something that I'm doing right now with one of my sponsors. Same thing with Megan in a partnership that we have going. And it's working out really, really well because they know, hey, we're really good on video. We have a lot of traffic coming to our social media accounts. And we're not just people that are going to come in and say, okay, like, let's get the service, peace out, bye. No, we're doing a lot of behind the scenes footage. We're asking them questions. What are you trying to do in your business goals right now? Are you trying to drive traffic, drive sales? Is there a specific product that you're pushing? How can I help do that and really have this be a benefit for you? That's where that power partnership comes through. Now, if you're like, Ali, I don't even know how to reach out to these people, like I'm more in the beginning stages of this, go back and listen to Megan and I's trainings on how to make money as a title holder, specifically how to generate leads. And that's one of the trainings too that we did in the Powerhouse Club last month. So if you're in there, make sure to go back and listen to that training from Megan and myself because it was really, really good as well. But that's about contracts, how you present yourself, your messaging, and all of that. But I want to move here to give you guys a little bit of examples. So in my life as Miss Nebraska, you can't always see the end when you're at the beginning stage. Now, what do I mean by that? By the time I was competing at Miss America, I had these really powerful partnerships on my paperwork. Was it perfect? No. Would I do it over and do it differently? Now, hindsight being 2020. Yeah, absolutely. But I think everybody would say that. But I was really blessed to be taken on this journey with a lot of my partners. And it was kind of like a domino effect that when I kicked the door down or it fell over, that makes it sound very like forceful. But when I pushed the door down in one lead, through networking, it led me to one other thing and one other thing and one other thing. And sooner or later, I'm putting these mega nonprofits and Microsoft and have worked with Facebook and Smart Gen Society and this designer where I got to design my own dress on my paperwork because I had that actual experience. But if you would have asked me right when I was crowned, if I had any of those connections, I would say no. Well, I had the nonprofit because I was working for them. But through that, it opened up Teammates Mentoring. Through that, it opened up Microsoft. Through there, it opened up XYZ. And every single time I cultivated that partnership well, even if it was a small local partnership, they loved me and they led me to a bigger fish and a bigger fish and a bigger fish. So if you are listening to this podcast and you're like, Ali, I feel like I'm a small fish, like I'm from a small town, or maybe you're from a big city, but you don't have a big social media presence and you don't really have a lot to offer. Start small. What is one thing that you excel in that you can be an asset to a business? And again, for more specifics on that, go listen to a couple of our older podcasts, not older, but a couple weeks back when we touched base on those specifics. But that is the place to start. It's not that you don't have anything to offer, but what is it? You have to do that self-discovery, because a business isn't going to discover that for you. They're not going to say, oh, like, can you do this? Can you do this? They're just not going to work with you if they don't see you as an asset. So if you can make videos, if you can shoot really good content, if you are a really good storyteller, if you can sing, if you can dance, if you can attend a gala, if you can network, if you can fill a room full of 20 new faces and have an experience event. I've done a couple of those before, and some of my friends ended up buying the product and some didn't. It was at an aesthetic or a fitness place that sponsored me. Like, use your brain and really dream of ways that you can help these organizations. And when you are in that mode of you're presenting ideas and opportunities rather than like, okay, I'm here, like, what would you like me to do? It is coming from a place of power rather than weakness. And there's probably a better word for weakness, but that's just the contrast that my brain was connecting here. But that's how you make a power partnership. A power partnership in a perfect world is, I love the product or services that you are giving me as the title holder, but I also can wholeheartedly endorse and promote this product because, like, you guys have treated me so well. And on the contrast side of that, they love me and are also wanting to give me more because I've been a good steward with what I've been given. And again, like the domino effect, if you kick down one door, there's going to be a bigger fish. You just have to keep going and going and going and cultivating and being a good steward of what you've been given. And another example, if you are somebody who's just starting out at this and you're like, oh, I really just don't feel comfortable asking for large amounts of money, or I really don't know what to start. We have a client, I'm not going to say her name, but she recently came in for a Powerhouse intensive. And she was telling us about this event where she was networking with a bunch of people in her state and they have lots of money. And she was telling them about her platform and everything that she does. And they just loved her. And she was just thinking, oh, I'm going to get booked out on a couple new events. And they asked me like what I needed. And I'm excited to, follow up with them in the future. And Megan and I really pressed her and we were like, okay, like, tell me about these people. Tell me about their assets, what they own, this businessmen and women, like they own a lot of big brands and big name things. I'm not going to mention them, but you guys would know them if I said it. And we were like, hey, insert client name. Do you realize that this is actually a huge opportunity? And when he said, hey, let me know what you need and I will deliver, like, I'm going to write you a check, that means a big number. Like, he fell in love with you because he heard you speak. He saw you doing the work at the event and he wants to support what you are doing. He wants to buy what you're selling, essentially. And it just didn't click with her that is actually the magnitude of what he was saying. So fast forward, right? We helped her create this plan of really pitching 5, 10, 25, these different levels to this guy. And, he's in the process of picking probably the middle or the top tier package. And she was like, I was thinking of going like with $1,000. And now, she has the potential of this guy writing her nonprofit a $25,000 check. Like, that is revolutionary. And that is a power partnership. Now, again, you might be like, Ali, I don't even know how to do that. Or like, those opportunities won't come in my life. No, I don't think that at all. Like, once you start investing in yourself and start knocking down those doors, they do come. I promise. It happened to me. It's happened to these other national title holders. It's happened to just people in life, but you have to be willing to take action and you have to have your eyes open. And sometimes, it does take a coach or somebody else to help point you in that direction to those people in your lives. But like, it starts with you just being there and being yourself, being authentic, being passionate, and being ready and available for when those people step into your life, you have something to point them towards. And this girl she has expanded her platform in many different areas. She's gotten partnerships before, and she has a lot to offer as far as partnerships and when she's booking, when people are booking her, what she can do and stuff like that. So we were really proud of her, and like, literally nothing puts a fire under my butt more than when clients win and succeed like that. Because like, what if that could pay for your rent? What if that could pay for your whole wardrobe competing at nationals? Like, money is a huge thing when it comes to pageantry. And if you can get a donor like that, like, oh yeah, everybody, that's like dream world. Everybody would want to do that, right? So I say that example because that is not just this random person. It could be you. Okay. If you apply some of these principles, it's not just me. Like, I'm not anything special. I am just me with these people. And I made them fall in love with me in my journey because I was Ali. right? And yeah, some people might not fall in love with me because I'm not their cup of tea. That's fine. But if I'm still being authentically me, I'm having a message, I have my deliverables in check, I have a good media kit, and I'm doing what I need to do, then I know that it's kind of like sales. You keep knocking down the doors, someone is going to answer eventually. And so let that encourage you guys today, because if you are in the beginning stages of this, or maybe you're in the process of knocking down those doors and you're like, hey, I just haven't seen the return on my investment, or I just haven't seen somebody answer. Well, pay attention to the message you're crafting in that process. And maybe we can do another podcast on like the specific verbiage of that. I know we've done some in the past, but let us know in the comments here if you're watching on YouTube, or DM us on Instagram if something in this podcast really sparked a new idea that you want us to talk about, because we really want to help you guys succeed overall and in life and pageants and business and just every single thing that you guys do. So I hope that you found this super beneficial. And as we're kind of bringing this to a close, again, think about that power partnership now that we've talked about this. Who is that in your life? What organization is it? And how can you go about taking one small step to obtaining that partnership or sponsorship that would revolutionize your life? Because guess what? You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. All right, guys, that's all I have for you here today. Tune in next week for the next episode of the Powerhouse Podcast. As always, I'm Coach Allie. Great to see you if you're on YouTube, or I hope that you have a good time listening to this if you are listening on the podcast. We will see you again next week. Bye, everybody.
Well, thanks so much for listening to this episode. This is Coach Megan, and I just wanted to say it is 2023 in terms of the next pageant season. And we have so many new things going on at Powerhouse. We have a new brand, we have new logos, we have a new website, we have new resources for you. So make sure that you click the link below. If you are not already part of the Powerhouse Club, figure out how you can save $300 per month and $700 overall by joining the best world-class pageant training in the world that you cannot get anywhere else. Intrigued? Click the link below, and we can't wait to see you in that. Thanks for listening to this episode, and we will see you next week.